Hello, parent coach volunteers. First of all, I want to thank you so much for your willingness to invest in our cheerleading program. We are so grateful for your help, and we couldn't do it without our parent volunteer coaches. I want to encourage you that this is a wonderful opportunity to be able to make an awesome impact on our little cheerleaders. That's my favorite part of our job, is being able to create memories and make an impact that will last a lifetime. I want to encourage you that this is just an incredible time to be able to invest in young children, to be able to build relationships with them. I have heard of several parents who have complained in the past about kids not wanting to play on a t-ball team anymore because they had a bad coach, or not wanting to play soccer because they didn't have a good experience with the coach. We want to try to equip you and give you all of the tools that you need to be successful. I encourage you to take this commitment seriously, because we truly want to instill a love of cheerleading in all of our little ones, and we want them to have a fabulous experience with cheering for these Friendship Youth football teams this semester, and we sure appreciate your commitment to doing this. We are going to be going through our training and introducing you to our policies that will help you be successful, and our curriculum that will hopefully be easy to use. First of all, I want to show you what will be included in your curriculum folder, an information packet that every coach should receive when they sign up to coach with us. On the inside of the curriculum packet is a coaching application. We have to run a background check on every single coach who is in charge of the team, and so it's very important that before you go to your first game that we have this background check. Now at the top it says that there's a coaching fee of $35. I just don't believe it's right to ask people to donate their time and then ask them to pay to donate their time. And so we are doing fundraising to cover the expense of the background check, so you do not have to pay for a coaching fee. Also at the bottom, Friendship Youth Football requires their coaches to get a team sponsorship. We do not require that. We will be asking for companies to sponsor some footballs that we will be throwing out at the games, but we will be just sending that out as mass communication. We don't require each squad to find a sponsor, so you don't have to worry about that. This needs to be filled out and turned in as soon as possible. Also inside of the packet is the parent coach policies. These are just certain rules and policies that we ask all of our parent coaches to follow so that you can be successful and have a good experience with us. You will read this, check it off, sign it, and return this with your background check. On the inside, there's also some coaching requirements that we have for all of our coaches. So it says coaching application, and then we need you to email us a headshot for your badge picture. Please be sure that that picture is kind of shoulders up and that it's just you in that photograph, so that it will make a good badge picture. We will get those badges made, and we should have them to you by the second game. And then of course you'll sign this policy and return that as well. We are going to be having some fundraising t-shirts that we're going to be selling, and we would like for you just to encourage your squad to try to sell as many of those as possible, because that will be paying for the background checks and for their medals at the end. Also included in your little booklet, which we will be going over this more in depth in just a few minutes, are the game instructions. So before every game, you can look over these instructions to be sure that you're successful and following all of the procedures for the squads at those games. And then here is a cheer list that is included, and that is the list of cheers that we will be teaching each week, so that you know which cheers to lead at the games, and we'll explain that further in a few moments. And then there's also a page that has the YouTube link, and it has the cheers and the words to those cheers, so you can have this available to be able to learn all of the curriculum. And again, we'll be going over that in just a few moments. So please be sure to keep this curriculum packet with you at all times, because it will help you be successful with our program. In your packet is the list of parent-coach policies. These are just guidelines that will help you be successful and help our students and their families to have a good experience with our program. The first thing that we ask each of our parent coaches to do is to call, not text or email, but call each child's parents who's listed on your squad list. You will get a list of all of the students who are on your squad the second practice, and before the first game by Saturday, all of the games should be primarily on Sundays. So before the first game, we will need you to call those parents and then make a note on your squad list if they are set up for texting. There are a few families who only have home phone numbers. So if you send out mass text messages, you might need to make a note to call that one particular child if they are not able to receive text messages. This also is very important in allowing you to build that relationship with the families. They get to hear your voice. They get to ask any questions that they might have about the program, and we appreciate you taking time to introduce yourself before the first game. Secondly, it's very, very important for our parent coaches to arrive 30 minutes before the game time. You will receive a game schedule and you'll follow the schedule for the team that you're assigned to. So if their game schedule says that the game starts at 5 o'clock, the parent coach volunteers need to arrive by 4:30. And then the girls, each of the cheerleaders, are supposed to arrive within 15 minutes before the game. So if it starts at 5, they would arrive at 4:45. It's very, very frustrating for parents if they arrive at the games and the coach is nowhere to be found and they can't locate the coaches, and then they're running late, and it just gets the game off to a poor start. So we do ask to be sure that you're there at least 30 minutes before the game starts. When you get there, you will need to find out which side of the field your team is going to be you need to cheer for your team. So the very first game, you will need to go and find out who the coach is for your team and introduce yourself, and that your cheerleaders will be cheering for their team every game. And that way you can get to know them and build that rapport with the football team's coach. Then ask them which side of the field that they're going to be on so that you'll know where your cheerleaders need to stand to be able to cheer for their fans. I do want to encourage you. We've had some complaints in the past. I realize that some parents may not have played sports or ever been a cheerleader before. Several of our cheers are offense cheers. Offense is when our team has the ball. So anytime that the team that you're cheering for has the ball, then you will do offense cheers. So obviously you need to be watching the game, because fans get very upset if you are cheering for the wrong team and you're cheering in front of those fans. If the other team, the opposing team, has the ball, then that is defense. So you will do your defense cheers. So again, please pay attention to the game and make sure that you are calling out the correct cheers that coordinate with the team that you're cheering for. You also need to be sure to bring your badge to all of the games. Friendship Youth Football is very strict about this. And parents that are out on the field that don't have badges, they will be asking them to leave. We should have badges no later than the second game. The first game, I will notify the Friendship Youth Football coordinators that your badges are in the making, and you should have those by the second game. So please be sure to keep those in your purse or in your car, or somewhere that you will always have those badges available to wear. And that also makes parents comfortable with leaving their child with somebody who officially has their badge and background check. You are responsible for being at every single game. If you are not able to be at the game, it is our goal to have a coach and an assistant coach. So you need to notify your assistant coach and make sure that they can lead all of the cheers and chants and lead the squad for that game. It is a horrible situation for any of the students to show up to cheer and the coach not be there. So please be sure that you are committed to being at every game, or that you have somebody there that can lead your squad if you're not available. Also, it's very important to only teach the chants that the girls are learning in practice. We have had some issues in the past where the girls will have their favorite little cheers that they want to do for their team, and sometimes they're funny, cutesy little shake your booty chants that they think are really cute and funny, but we live in a very conservative area, and some parents might not agree with certain cheers and chants, and so we want to make sure that it's gone through our approval before any of the girls do their own cheers and chants at the games. Also, it's very, very important to learn the cheers. We're going to go through the curriculum in just a few minutes, but you need to know those cheers confidently so that you can lead them. They will be on YouTube, which means that obviously if you have a smartphone, you can pull it up on your phone. We have had some complaints in the past, though, of parent coaches trying to watch their phone as they're doing their cheers. And obviously it looks like from the crowd's perspective that the parents, number one, don't know the material, or number two, that they're playing on their phones when they're supposed to be engaging the cheerleaders. And it's very difficult to engage the girls if you've got your phone in front of you. So please be sure to take time before the games on Saturday, before your games, to learn your cheers and chants and to know them well, so that you can be confident in leading them at the games. Also, you need to do the cheers exactly like they are on the video, because if the video shows them having one arm up and you have the other arm up, the cheerleaders are going to be very confused why they're doing the cheers one way at the football games and then another way at practice. And so it's extremely important for you to do the cheers exactly like they are on the video, so that we have that consistency with our program and there's not confusion when it comes to the performances in the games. The Friendship Youth Football, all of Friendship District actually has a policy that there are no colored drinks or food allowed out on the field. So the only beverage that the girls can take out there is water, and just let the parents know that is a friendship policy. It's a school district policy and we have to abide by that. So please do not allow them to bring Gatorades or colored drinks or foods. Also, it is your responsibility to be sure that the cheerleaders stay down on the field whenever the game is in session. They are not at any time to be running back and forth up into the stands to their parents. This is not a safe situation. It also does not result in effective cheering. Cheerleading is just like any other sport. If they're supposed to be playing in a soccer game, they're not going to be running out and sitting in the stands with their parents when their team is playing. So please encourage your child that they must stay out on the field with their cheer squad at all times during the game. They will have a brief, about a 5-minute halftime, and so we encourage them to take a little drink break. They probably won't have time to take the whole squad to the restrooms during halftime, so we encourage them to go before the game, because the halftimes are very, very brief, and by the time they take the whole squad and they get back out on the field, a lot of times the whole third quarter can be over with before they get back. So just a very brief drink break is what we expect. If there's a child that just really needs to use the restroom, then you can take them individually, but encourage them to do that before the game if at all possible. It is also important to keep your cheerleaders engaged and constantly cheering. We have a saying in our program that says, if you don't make it fun for the girls, they're going to make it fun for themselves, and that is not fun for you. If they get bored, it's going to result in a lot of complaining and a lot of discipline issues. You are their cheerleader, so we encourage you to make it fun, to constantly be calling out new cheers, to keep the crowd excited and cheering for the team. Help those cheerleaders learn that they have an important role to help their football team win by cheering and keeping that the crowd engaged. So please keep those cheers going and try not to have too much downtime. The safety of the cheerleaders is what is most important. From the time that the parents drop them off with you, you need to always be doing a head count. Make sure that a child never goes by themselves to the restroom or goes by themselves up into the stands. They always need to be within your vision and within your supervision. We want to make sure that every child is very well supervised and that they have a safe environment. Also, you need to have your list, your squad list with you in your packet at the games, and make sure that you check who is picking that child up, and ask those parents if there's anybody else who's authorized to pick them up. And if it's not the parent listed on the list, but they do give somebody else permission to pick them up, then please make a note of that so that you can make sure that only the people who have permission are picking the child up after the games. Of course, these cheerleaders are going to be excited about stunting and tumbling that they're learning. However, you have not been trained on proper supervision with stunting and tumbling. So our rules are that a child is not to do any cartwheels or tumbling of any kind or any stunting when they're cheering for the Friendship Youth football games. We will supervise and teach that with the appropriate mats and supervision during practice, but they are not to do that when they are out on the field, and we appreciate your help with making sure that they stay safe in that way. We also ask that you pass along all communication and information to the families on your squad. If we have pictures that are coming up, or if there's any type of changes, we will send out mass communication to our coaches. Please be sure that you're checking your emails and that you're checking our Facebook postings. You can like our Facebook page at Stretch and Grow Tiger Cheerleading. And if you're not receiving emails from us, then please notify us as soon as possible, because there may be times that there is last minute information that we need to get out to parents, and we want to make sure that you're receiving that communication so that you can be successful leading your squads. If there is bad weather, which rarely happens in the fall, but if it's pouring rain, or if there's ice or any kind of treacherous roads, we will notify all of the parent coaches. We will send an email out, post it on our Facebook page, and then we would like for you to send out text messages to all of the kids on your squad, letting them know if the games are canceled, so that they will have good communication. And we appreciate you signing off on these policies and following them so that you can have a good experience, and all of our students can have a good experience with our program as well. Okay. Inside your packet, there are specific game instructions that will help you be successful and that you need to follow with every single game. First of all, you need to make sure before the game that you have your badge with you. Again, keep it in your purse or in your car or somewhere that you will always have it. Arrive 30 minutes before the start of the game. And then always have a meeting place for your parents. And so you can just let them know every week, maybe meet them by the concession stand or maybe meet them by the infield, but have a designated meeting place for your parents so that they know where to find you every week. And then let the parents know that that will be the same meeting place that you will meet up with them after the game, because the parents are not allowed to go down on the field to gather the cheerleaders. So you'll need to have a designated meeting place and let them know where that's at whenever they're dropping the kids off to you. And then find out which side of the field you need to be cheering for before the game starts. Now, during the game, you're going to lead the chants and encourage the spiriting constantly. When you're leading a chant, I'm going to have Coach Ashley come in and show us how we start our chants and how we call them off. And every single time you're going to start a chant the exact same way.
Okay, for example, for OFFENSE, we're going to start statue smiles, and we're going to start 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. OFFENSE, Tigers fight for victory. And you'll repeat each chant 3 times.
Thank you, Coach Ashley. And after every cheer, you will do it 2 or 3 times. We'll go over that in just a few minutes on the cheer list. They will spirit. So they say, "Go Tigers, let's go Tigers, blue and gold, let's win tonight." And they always end with spiriting. Now, if the opposing team does not have a squad, because not every football team is going to have a squad, then at halftime you will switch and go to the other side of the field, and you will, if you were home to begin with, then you would go to the visitor side and cheer for the other team. Friendship Youth Football really encourages school spirit in that we are all Friendship Tigers, and so they want all of the football players and all of the cheerleaders to understand that when it comes down to it, we're all in the Friendship District, and we want to encourage that team spirit. And it's not fair for one team to have a cheer squad and another team not to. So at halftime, if the other side doesn't have cheerleaders, then you're going to switch. Now, when you switch, please be sure to remember which team you're cheering for offense and defense, so that, again, you don't upset the fans that you're cheering in front of and call out the wrong cheers. We do have in your book some time filler chants These are just generic crowd chants that you can call out at any time, like 2 bits, 4 bits, 6 bits, $1, all for the Tigers, stand up and holler. And they can have the crowd stand up and get spirited. Or defense, Tigers, defense. Defense, Tigers, defense. Or defense, defense, defense. Another one is, we want a touchdown, TD. We want a touchdown, TD. And you can just keep repeating these over and over several times to get the crowd involved. Or you can keep saying, go, Tigers, go. Go, Tigers, go. Go, Tigers, go. These crowd chants are great fillers because obviously we only have 2 practices to teach the girls several cheers. So their first game, they're only going to have learned about 5 cheers in the practice. So if they get tired of doing the same cheers over and over, you can always call in some of these simple crowd chants that they can pick up on very, very quickly. Also, during the game, if you want to have parent volunteers bring some bottled water, they are able to have those. And during a timeout, they can take a quick drink. Sometimes it's very hot. Another thing that works great for a motivator that we use in practice is you can fill up a big squirt bottle full of water and mist the girls, or put it on stream and go by and squirt a little squirt of water in their mouths. We call it a spirit spray, and it's a good way to cool the girls off, to get them spirited if they're starting to get tired and hot. Then encourage them. Cheerleaders have a good attitude. Cheerleaders have spirit. Sometimes giving them a spirit spray is something that can motivate them. Another good motivator is if you want to get your squad together and maybe make some spirit sticks and pass out a spirit stick at the end of the game to the cheerleader that has the best attitude and the most spirit, and try to rotate it so that by the end of the season, every cheerleader has been able to take home a spirit stick, and make a note so that none of them are left out. Also, just getting them spirited and being super excited yourself. If you get in front of the girls and you're cheering and you're very serious and very quiet, it's going to be hard for them to get excited for the crowd. So this is a great opportunity for you to be able to get your squad cheering and spirited and excited. So we encourage you to do that. If the cheerleaders need to use the restroom at halftime, just take maybe one at a time very, very quickly, because the squad needs to be ready to go right when the 3rd quarter starts. So be sure that you're watching that clock and that they're out there ready to cheer when the game starts back. After the game, you need to be sure that all of the trash is picked up off of the field, if there's empty water bottles and so on and so forth. Also, please be sure that you visibly see each cheerleader get back into their parents' hands. Please do not let them run up into the stands or run to their parents. Their parents need to come verbally talk to you, and you need to see them be dismissed into their hands to make sure that they're safe. In your cheer packet is the parent coach cheer list. There is a line that says game 1, and above game 1, there's several cheers that are listed. Above each line are the list of the cheers that we have taught in practice. So for game 1, listed here is 6 different cheers that our cheerleaders would have learned in the first 2 practices. Then for game 2, there's 3 more cheers in addition to the first 6 that they learned. Game 3, an additional 2 cheers, plus the 3 that they learned before game 2 and the 6 that they learned before game 1. I encourage you, and we have had complaints about this in the past, to please be sure that you're using all of these cheers. I know it's easy that you've learned your favorite couple of cheers, but the girls and the fans get tired of hearing the same cheers over and over and over. And this is a great way for the girls to reinforce all of the cheers and chants that we're learning in practice. So please be sure that each week you are checking this list and learning the cheers and having them ready to cheer at the games. Now, in your packet, you also have the cheer words and the YouTube link. So for each of these cheers, there is a YouTube link. We will send you the video and it will show you how to do the cheers. Again, you're going to do them exactly like they are on the video. So the way that you use this, and Coach Ashley and Coach Brenna are going to demonstrate, is you're going to pop in your video. Coach Ashley is going to pretend like she's the one that's on TV. And then Coach Brenna is going to be in the green shirt. Coach Brenna is the parent coach volunteer. So as she turns on the video and starts her first cheer, then she's going to mirror the TV. So if Ashley's the TV, then she will mirror it exactly like Coach Ashley does it.
5, 6, 7, 8. O-F-F-E-N-S-E. Tigers fight for victory.
So if it's Ashley's right arm that's up, then it would be your left arm that's up that is mirroring those cheers. So that's very, very important in learning the curriculum correctly. And thank you, Coach Ashley and Coach Brenna, for demonstrating that for us. If you have any questions regarding the curriculum at all whatsoever, please do not hesitate to contact our cheer director, and she will go through and answer any questions on the curriculum, and hopefully we make it very easy for you to use. I again want to thank you for your commitment to allowing each of the girls in your squad to have a wonderful experience. We hope that you will be able to impact them for many years to come, that you can have a great relationship with your parents and your families. If at any time you have any problems with the parents or with the families, please let us know. We want to make sure that there's not ever any conflict and that you have a wonderful experience with us. And again, we appreciate your commitment to our program.